Yes, it's JR, the villain, in the bowels of the streaming service as we are searching for the hidden gems. Yes, welcome back. Like I said, JR, the villain here for Horror Fiend TV as we are looking for the hidden gems. And 2024 has been a good year in horror, some disappointments, some hits, some that flew under the radar, and some that, well, people have talked about. And sometimes when people talk, we listen. And in this episode, we are going to be talking about the 2024 film Blink Twice, written and directed by, yes, Zoe Kravitz. Now, this cast boasts Naomi Ackie as Frida, Channing Tatum as Slater King, Christian Slater as Vic, Simon Rex as Cody, Adria Arjona as Sarah, Haley Joel Osment as Tom. I see dead people. I bet you will. Gina Davis as Stacy, Kyle MacLachlan as Rich, Aaliyah Shawkat as Jess, and Levon Hawk as Lucas. So the synopsis of this one, well, tech billionaire Slater King, played by Channing Tatum, throws his fundraising gala and he meets his cocktail waitress Frida. He invites her with his friends to this vacation on a dream island that he happens to own. Well, nights turn to parties, days turn into relaxation, and eventually Frida finds out that there's something amiss in this island and she needs to escape. Now, when I actually saw this film, I was excited to see this cast. Each of them were immersed in their characters, and it was actually to see some good veteran actors like Christian Slater, who something about his role reminded me of Heathers. I'm not sure if you watch Heathers, you know what I'm talking about. You know Christian Slater, that's one of his best roles. And the fact that he had Gina Davis in this film and Kyle MacLachlan. I mean, come on, who doesn't like Doom? I like Doom. Well, you might not like the original because there's that new one, but besides the point, yes, the fact that there were veteran actors in this film with this new cast that I'm not familiar with some of these actors and actresses, but it was good to see this combination for this film. Now, the main protagonist of this film is Frida, who was a cocktail waitress that was so anxious to meet Slater King. Now, her character is very interesting in this film because with her, it's all about being accepted, all about being seen. Now, when you put yourself in a situation where, well, not only are you looking to be seen, but the fact that the people around you, the rich, the powerful, are the ones that you want to actually see you. Now, this was the driving force of the film as far as this character goes. The fact that she wanted to be so accepted, the fact that she was willing to live this dream fantasy and not realize the reality that's happening around her. Now, this was what makes her an interesting, very well rounded character. There was some secrets about her, like this scar she had on her head, that we find out later in the film what actually happened. Now, before I keep going, I'm going to try to keep this spoiler free. So my goal is not to give as much, but give enough where it's going to entice you to watch this film. Because after all, most of the films that we've watched this year have been, well, highly recommended, or, well, we just happen to run into them and enjoy them. That's what Hidden Gems is. It's films that you run into and you want to you start watching and basically you enjoy them. But this one in particular, really, I didn't hear much about this film, but it did start gathering basically social media and people were talking about this film, but not to the degree of the other films that are coming out this year or have come out, like Smile 2. Haven't watched yet. We'll watch this pretty soon. Curious to know, about that film too. But besides the point, let's keep talking about this one. Now, one of the interesting aspects of this film also is the fact that you have these parties. And as these parties happen, well, Now, I said I was going to try to keep it spoiler free, but it's kind of crazy when these parties actually happen. The fact that the ladies wake up with, I don't know, a little memory loss, but hey, how many of us went through those days where we got so freaking hammered and drunk we don't remember what happened that night? I'm not saying I did. I'm just, saying in general. But, hey, party nice. Now, the location of this island added to the allure of it. And not for nothing, how many of us would love to escape to an island that's one, private, two, damn, imagine owning your own island where you could do whatever you want. The fact that you had this, like a compound on this island, made you kind of wonder, I don't know, what was Slater King doing on this island and what was his intent? Now, let us go back a little bit to the Frida character. Because I'll be honest, with her character, it took a while for me to grow to like her. But the more I found out about her character, the more her character exposed some things about her and some of the things she did too. You wanted to know more what was behind the character, Frida. What was the motivation? What was the fact that she felt like she needed to be seen? I mean, most of us just go through life and we don't want to be seen. Some of us want to be heard, some of us want to be famous, some of us just fly under the radar. But what was the driving force behind Frida that made her want to be seen? That she was willing to do anything to live in this fantasy that was possibly a distorted reality. Now, the Frida character was very attracted to Slater King, played by, yes, Channing Tatum. Now, Channing Tatum is a very unique actor. I mean, most of us know him for comedy. Now, the ladies love Channing Tatum because, hey, Magic Mike. For us fellas, well, we kind of like him because one, 21 Jump Street, 22nd Jump Street, great films, funny films. My name is Jeff, one of the greatest lines in comedy. But the fact is that the fanboy in us and the fanboy in him got us to watch him this year in Deadpool and Wolverine playing Remy LeBeau, aka Gambit. Now, were you excited with his portrayal of Gambit? Because some people weren't, some people enjoyed it. Me, I enjoyed it. I love the humor about it, and definitely want to see him back in that role. Please, Marvel. But let us continue with the fact that he was in Blink Twice, and his character was very different in a way from the characters he portrayed. And to be honest, I want more Channing Tatum in horror thrillers because while we're used to seeing him in comedies and action movies, well, I think he might have a niche in horror, and I think he needs to continue to revisit. But his portrayal as Slater King, tech billionaire, the guy with everything, the guy with all the money, the looks, the fame, and the fact that he was trying to fix his image, which, watch the film, I'm not going to say what happened with him, but the fact that he was such a character that you did not expect his behavior in this film. And because you didn't expect it, it made his character in this film more compelling. Now, let me go back to one actress that was in this film, Gina Davis. I mean, not for nothing, it was amazing to watch her in this film because I was honestly disappointed that she didn't decide to go back to Beetlejuice 2 because I think she would have been a better character in that movie than some of the characters in that movie. But maybe I'll give Beetlejuice 2 a different review in a different show. I don't know. Maybe we'll revisit on Three Corners of Horror because I'm curious to see what those guys want to talk about when it comes to that film. But yeah, to see her in this film and a character that I never expected her to portray either. This is the great thing about this film. There were characters in this film, the way they were portrayed, you did not expect them to be portrayed in this manner. But that is what makes a good script, definitely good writing, definitely good directing, definitely cinematography, everything to make these characters and highlight these characters for how different that they were, made them even more unique in this film. So I tried my hardest because I really wanted to go in depth with this, but the fact that this film does have potential to be more than a hidden gem. I mean, it's gotten a good rating in Rotten Tomatoes, but hey, Rotten Tomatoes hit or miss. Sometimes their ratings are show movies good. In reality, it sucks. But that is the opinion that we have for films. This one in particular, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 because the fact that I was enticed with this film. This film kept me glued to the TV. I wanted to know what was happening. The fact that you have all these rich men who bring these women to this island to basically get away from reality. But well, you know what? I'm gonna end up spoiling, which I don't want to. But like I said, the cast in this film was great. To see the veteran actors in this film kind of dust off and be able to show why they're such great actors and actresses made this film fun to watch. Now, Christian Slater, the guy's amazing. I want to see him more. He needs to be more active because he is such a great actor, and I like him in movies like this because it kind of shows. Well, like I said, go watch Heather's if you haven't watched Heather's. It's one of Joe the psychologist's favorite films. Haley Joel Osment as Tom. I see dead people. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you remember seeing a child actor and they're still doing this craft. And I liked his character. I mean, his character was funny and his mannerisms were funny, but it was cool kind of seeing him in this film. But I got to give kudos to Zoe Kravitz because not only did she write this film, she directed it. And I like her as an actress. I think she's a good actress. And her portrayal as Catwoman in the Batman movie with Robin Pattinson was really good. But I think she has a bright future as well, being a writer and director, because this film was, like I said, very fun. And I wish I could go and see some of the behind the scene footage to see how she was directing this cast, because it is a great cast. But yeah, definitely watch this film. It's currently streaming on Amazon Prime, but it's really MGM Plus. I'll give you a little bit of hook to make you want to watch this film. I want to know exactly what you thought of the end of the film and what happened with Frida and her decision. This is GR Horror Fiend TV. Yes, Hidden Gems. Now, this show is particularly, we run into a hidden gem. So you might not see this show as a regular, but when it comes up as well, there was a film we watched. One of us enjoyed it. One of us wants to talk about it. Some of us might get in debt. Some of us might not, because the goal is to make you watch this film. And if you haven't watched Dark Harvest, definitely go check out Dark Harvest. Very good film. But till next time, GR Horror Fiend TV. Peace.